Thank you guys so much. We obviously enjoyed the opportunity to get down here and enjoy this moment with you guys here today. Even though it rained a little bit, it's not going to ruin our fun. So we're still going to be excited. We're still going to enjoy this time. I brought a few guys down on the road trip with me, and I promise you I did not go above the speed limit. I drove safely because I had precious cargo in the car with me. But I want to introduce some of these guys to you. I didn't bring the whole team, but I'm fortunate enough to bring some of them. I'll start off with our Wyoming-born guy right down the road here, Tom Bluff, Hunter Paxton. Oh! Yes! Now, I will say this. Being from Florida and watching the game of football, and I know Coach Bo is obviously doing a tremendous job. JJ caught about 6 touchdowns yesterday. Yeah. I don't know if anybody could have guarded him.
Thank you. Hey, Casper, all right. Yeah, what a great night. You know, it was about 5 years ago, and a lot of my colleagues said, why in the world are you going to go to Wyoming? Yeah, that's a good point to that. So much was said. They said, well, don't go there because there's not good players in that state. And I looked at the roster, and we hardly had any Wyoming players on the squad. As a matter of fact, we had more players from Germany than we did Wyoming. And they weren't kickers, neither. So the first thing I did, I set a date and I called up a great high school coach, Coach Harshman. Yeah, you bet. I know he's over there. And he'll remember this. We met at a Starbucks, and I said, Coach, okay, how are we going to figure this out? We got to have some players from Wyoming. And he said, well, I got 2 I think you should take a hard look at. And those 2 guys have really been special. And I can tell you this, people say around the country initially you can't win with Wyoming players, and I'm telling you, damn it, you can't win without them. Like I said, who are you going to throw the ball to on the last drive against Boise State when you need to move the chains? You're going to throw the ball to Josh Harshman right up here. Come on up, guys. Yeah, heck of a tight end. Let's toss him out there, Josh. He played quarterback in high school, by the way. Yeah. And then, who are you going to have stop them dang Colorado State Rams when it's 4th down? Logan Wilson. Come on up here, Logan. Yeah. All right. Well, I can tell you this. Now, this football team's in it to win it. And Governor Meade one time told me, he said, Coach, when the Cowboys win, the people in our state feel good. Coach, what do you need? And we painted a great vision. And one thing we have in this state, we have one university, and everybody rides for the brand. And I can tell you what, cowboys and cowgirls, there's a saying, let's saddle up and ride for the brand. Go Pokes!
How's it feel to be here in Casper?
Oh, it's an awesome event. You know, we had a little weather go through and nobody left. That says a great deal about the Wyoming fans, specifically here in Casper. I told them, growing up in Wyoming, I've been a Wyoming fan for 50 years. I know that road goes both ways. And we're always asking the fans to travel. It was great for us to be here.
Now, because it's in Laramie, it is quite a travel. I mean, you still get a great turnout here in Casper. I mean, what does this team and this athletic program mean to these people?
Well, what we talk about is one Wyoming, and that's just who we are. One institution, one state, one team, and that's who they cheer for. And you saw everybody show up in their brown and gold today, and it just says a great deal about the fans.
Having a pretty good season like you did, you know, going to the women's NIT and all that, probably makes it a little better, you know, getting good reaction, and probably sets the tone for next season.
You know, it really does. We've had a tremendous run the last 2 years, finishing in the top 3 playing for a championship this year. We had Liv Roberts being Player of the Year. Marta Gomez is 6th Player of the Year. Bailey Cotton, all defensive team, and we get Marta and Bailey back. So we're really looking forward to this next year.
What worked this year?
Well, team. That's what it was about. Chemistry with this group, some talented players that bought into our system and really wanted to play as a team.
Now with success last year, you have a lot of returners, but you are losing Liv Roberts and some stars. So what's going to be the key going into this season?
Yeah, you just don't replace a Player of the Year with the next person in. We have 6 new players coming in, a lot of energy, but I like the fact that we're going to return Bailey, Marta, our point guard Clara Tapia, our 2 guard Taylor Russ. That's a good foundation to build on.
Yeah, the schedule just came out a couple weeks ago. Lot of non-conference home games, but a very light December as well. You talked about the
yeah,
schedule?
you know, when you talk about scheduling, it's very difficult to get games. You know, December's finals. Academically, we were 3.6 as a team GPA this year. That's a big plus on this side for this team. So we'll be ready to play.
Coach, this is all kind of a new setup here in Casper. Just what's it like to see, you know, kind of what they've got here?
I tell you what, this venue is something else. And to see the fans that came out tonight, you know, I give the McMurrays a great deal of credit putting this together, bringing Wyoming up. Our band showed up, cheerleaders, athletes, just a tremendous venue. And as I said, it's always about the fans, and the Wyoming fans are special.
Well, hey, listen, I just want to say it's great to be in Casper. What a special night. What a great venue. You know what? It also gives an idea of what kind of fans we have. We had a rain delay, and they hung around, and we're certainly excited about being here.
So, Coach, you're excited about being here in Casper. What's it like? I mean, you had Logan Wilson, Josh Harshman like that. What's it like to have being kind of the hometown of Harshman and see the fans excited about those players?
You know what? It's one of the things I remember talking to Coach Harshman and knowing that we needed more players from the state of Wyoming, and not just players. I mean, big-time players. And to come back and have a celebration like this is exciting.
Really good season last year. I know we're still a couple months out before practice officially starts, but you know, you're feeling the momentum from the crowd and how things just kind of been going, you know, since that big favorable win.
Right. You know, nothing builds success like success, and this is going to be a team that's really galvanized. You know, it's another year forward in our program. We play in a great league. You know, they were 3 first-round picks in the Mountain West. We'll be a different type of team, but you'll see a Cowboy tough brand. The future looks bright. We're aiming for a championship.
Now, Coach, you got 2 bowl wins in a row now, or 2 bowl games in a row. So what is it going to take to get a 3rd consecutive one this year?
Well, the first thing we're going to do is play New Mexico State. And we've had a great spring, a really good summer workout in the middle. We need to take one game at a time, but there's a lot of momentum. Our players, they believe now they can win. And now the next step is to win a championship.
Opponents are probably going to take you a lot more seriously than they have in past years, aren't they?
Yeah, the days of us sneaking up on people are long gone, but that's okay. You know, we are embracing competition. We're bringing on the competition. And we think there's good steps in our program.
They have a guy like Josh Allen leave for the NFL. What's this offense going to look like with kind of that hole there?
Well, you know, the components every year are real similar, but there's going to be different nuances. We're going to have to look and see, okay, where we're at in the offensive line, how Tyler does, or whoever plays quarterback for us, receivers. But it will be an unpredictable offense that's going to score.
How about just the defense in general? I mean, you know, you led the nation in takeaways, and good court coming back.
We got about everybody coming back, and I always say that offense sells tickets and defense wins championships. And when the Cowboys are really going to be great, we need to be great on defense. We got to take that next step, but the makings of a real dominant defense are there.
Now, for some of those defensive guys like Carl Granderson and Weingard, how important is this year for them to help raise their draft stock and for their
Well,
future?
first of all, those guys, and I know you're talking about the NFL, but I can tell you they're all in for Wyoming. But they're on a lot of players, a lot of programs draft board right now. They're all in for us, but I think they're going to have a dynamic year.
Coach, I want to ask you real quick about Jalen Ortiz. Just what's it like having him back for the program?
Well, it's great having Jalen back as a coach and add some insight there. You know, the conduit between being a coach and a player. It's super to have him around.
How does it feel to be here in Casper for this event?
Well, again, you know, like all the coaches reiterated, you know, we get a lot of fans coming down Casper to support Wyoming athletics. And we just feel that it's only right that we have an opportunity to come down and support something that's really good for the city, but also the state.
Now you're coming off a 20-win season, and you lost Hayden Dalton, but you have a lot of returners and everything. So, kind of what are your guys' goals for this upcoming season?
Well, our goal is always to be the best team possible. Always want to put ourselves in a position to try to win the championships. We got all our guys on campus right now, and had a few opportunities to get out there and do some individual instructions, but also practice as well. And I like what I see.
Now your schedule just came out. You guys have a big one in South Carolina. Tell me a little bit about how you feeling about the schedule and that game in particular.
Well, I mean, I've always been a big proponent of making sure that the schedule is competitive, so that our guys, whether preseason, pre-conference or conference, always giving us the opportunity to try to reach our peak as a basketball team. And obviously South Carolina is one of the teams that highlight the schedule. And Coach Martin and my relationship go way back. My brother is on staff as well at South Carolina. So really thankful that Coach Martin allowed his team to come play us here at the University of Wyoming.
So what does it mean for a guy like Justin James to decide to come back for this program?
It was huge. Huge because of obviously what he's been able to do since being here at the University of Wyoming. Obviously being a first-team all-conference guy, and then coming back to lead a team in the right way. He's done a great job since being back this summer, but to have him in the fold for his senior year gives us extra incentive of going out there and really having a competitive year.
And some Wyoming flavor, you're going to get redshirt freshman Hunter Thompson from Pine Bluff. I mean, he still needs a little playing time, but he's coming in. What do you expect maybe to see from him?
Well, had a great conversation with him at the end of the year and even for the summer. He did a great job in his redshirt year, even though he still had his ankle hurt. But he put on some weight, muscle. Right now, just wanting to chisel it up. But my conversation with him was, do not approach this year like it's a freshman year for you. This team is really going to need you to really step up and be one of his main opponents.
Coach, for tonight being draft night, keeping tabs on HG and Allen, just where they end up.
Well, my thing to them was, don't get so caught up in it, because I think at the end of the day, everybody wants their name to be called. But my thing is, everybody has a different route to get to that level. Obviously, both of them have had multiple workouts with NBA teams. And my thing is, if you don't get your name called, that doesn't mean no. It just means not yet. Now you have to go to the summer league route, or maybe even the D-League route, or play overseas for a little bit to come back. But if that's your goal, just keep working at it and be patient with it.
It's probably not much of an issue, but Nevada, they went to the Elite Eight. You only get them once home. Is that really a good thing, bad thing, or neither?
Well, I look at it as a good thing. To get them on our home floor, but obviously Coach Buss has done a great job, even with the class that he's brought in. But also having these guys come back from out of the draft and probably being a top 10 team in the country, I think it's a tremendous opportunity